very much. Okay, sounds good. Wow. Before I do have a little something to say, and I'll try to keep it short and sweet. But I thought first I'd let someone come up and talk about the beginning of Fann contracting. And that's who started it all with my dad, and that's my mom. So, want to come up?
Well, 50 years ago, I certainly did not think I'd be standing here. I'm going to cry when Mike normally does. Seeing this kind of a group, Mike has asked me just to fill you in from our meager beginnings until he took over in 1991. Jim and I came to Prescott from St. Louis in 1958. He was asked to work for an uncle that his aunt had just married, and to learn how to run the backhoe. Well, that was fine because Jim loved that kind of work. But trouble is, paychecks kept bouncing. We didn't have much to live on. So Jim came to me one day and said, you know, I don't want to spend the rest of my life fighting paychecks and whatnot. So he said, how about me buying a backhoe and starting my own business? And he said, if you'll run the business I'll run the equipment and we'll be partners. So I thought that was a pretty good idea. So that's how Fann Contracting got started. The first backhoe, not like I told my kids, don't go into business without a business plan or some working capital. We had neither. And so in fact, we couldn't even afford the down payment on the backhoe. So Bob Boyd, the international harvester dealer, kind of hid it from the bank that we didn't have quite enough to put down, and we paid him off on time. Many of you in the contracting business today know what equipment costs. In 1960, we paid $12,500 for a brand new backhoe, and we charged $12.50 an hour. So it's a big difference. All through the 60s, we continued to grow. From one backhoe, no way to buy a pickup or anything. I would haul gas in the car to Jim when we figured out how many hours he could run that backhoe. Eventually a pickup was added. We hit rock in the trenches. A compressor was added. Had to haul the rock away, so the dump truck was added. And that's how we grew, piece at a time, and believe me, they were not new pieces of equipment. They were pretty sad. But they worked little by little. We added workers here and there as he could, because at first he would do all three pieces all by himself. And then we finally started adding helpers that would help. One of our really downfalls was, I don't know how many of you remember Diamond Valley. We broke in all the streets and did all the work. Well, the man that did that was not a very honest man, and he sold lots to more than one person, a lot. Well, he went to jail. A lot of years later, I was talking to someone. He related this story to me. He said, I used to go see Ned Warren in jail, and he said, you know, Ned had put a contract out to kill the judge that sent him to jail. And he always told me about this gutsy lady that would come and just say a lot of nasty words because he wouldn't pay, and I needed the money. So I guess I'm lucky to be alive today. But then in the 70s, Jim decided to go for his A General Engineering contractor's license, which allowed us to start bidding some of the state work. Our first job, as some of you might remember, the Black Canyon Bridge that washed out in the heavy rains. We did get the first contract we ever had to haul that away and tear it down. And I think we made more off of selling the rebar than we did the contract itself. But that's what got us started in the highway business. We built an office on 6th Street. Eventually, in 1980, we bought the property you're on today, built the offices and the shops, and just went on from there. Then in 88, Jim and I went our separate ways. And then for 3 years, as many of you who have gone through a separation know, it's not an easy job splitting properties. So it took 3 years, and finally we worked things out. Jim took his 50%, went to Flagstaff, started a new business. I retained the 50% here. I retired in 1991 and turned the business over to Mike. And this, from 91, is what he has done with this business. And I am so proud of him. Thank you.
Here. That's a tough act to follow. If those of you that know me, and I think pretty much everyone here knows me, I have been blessed with some wonderful things. I have a family that are my best friends, and I have a bunch of friends, and I mean a bunch, that are family. So good. So the good Lord has treated me very, very well. Wow. I do want to recognize a few people real quickly, but the success of any organization has nothing to do with the buildings or the equipment or any of those tangible things. It has everything to do with the people that make up the organization, because no organization goes on without great, hardworking, loyal, dedicated people. And that's my other blessing. That's what we have here. So I promise not to go through 300 names of employees, but there is just a few that have been here for a long, long time. And as we celebrate the successes of this organization, we have to celebrate these people and what they've done, because we wouldn't be here without them. So first is Don Holt. Don, where are you at? Where's he at? There he is. Don's vice president of the corporation. Don has been here coming up on 33 years. Another guy is Gary Steinmetz. Where's Gary at? It's around here. There he is, way in the back. Also over 32 years making this organization what it is. Gary Hickman, nobody knows Gary Hickman, do they? Where's Gary at? There he is. Gary's been here 27 years, and we raised a little bit of hell in high school too, so. What? You want to come up? Huh? No, don't make him do that. You want to? She wants a photo op, so come on up, guys. Don, Gary, also Linda O'Brien. Linda's my right-hand woman, 26 years. Where's Linda at? Yeah. Neil Morrison, is Neil here? Did Neil show up? Neil's kind of a homebody these days, so Neil may not be here. Neil's been with the company 26 years. I consider Neil one of my best friends. Like I said, I've been very blessed. Catherine Cordy. Kathy, where's she at? 25 years. Easy Torres. Easy, I know where you're at. Easy's been here 23 years. Fred Lockwood. Where's Fred? Come on up, Fred. What? He's asleep. Had a long day. Scott Thomas. Where's Scott at? Scott's been here 22 years. Ron Crane, where's Ron? Come on up, Ron. 21 years. John Heisley, everybody knows John. 21 years. And Terry Price, where's Terry? And every other Fann contracting employee, please stand up if you're not already standing up. Thank you, guys.